Hello and welcome to another recording of Unmedokayted, a podcast all about neurodiversities and everything that entails. How's your week been, Cole?
I'm alright. Do you know what? Hay fever is just really fucking me up right now, as you can probably tell. It's just been. Do you know what? It has been bad, but I've been able to wear contact lenses, but I just sound way more nasally than usual, and I can hear it, and it feels horrible. How about yourself?
Do you know what? I normally get really sort of bad hay fever, but I don't know how I've managed to swerve it this week.
Oh,
I don't know.
Lucky bastard.
Well, I think
lucky bastard.
I think since last year, since I've been on this new sort of turbo inhaler, because I have asthma as well, but my asthma is very much allergy related, so it's not like I get out of breath, but if I get allergies like dust or pollen, then...
So have you got the blue what inhaler have you got?
So it's called a turbo. No, it's not blue or brown. It's called a turbo inhaler.
Okay.
So it's like dry powder. And you suck it in, and you like a milkshake, and you hold it in, and
like a milkshake.
Well, that's how the doctors say, because it'll feel like a milkshake as you're sucking it in, because it's quite thick. I don't know. It's really weird.
Oh, fair.
So it's like when you're sucking it in. Imagine. I know it's really weird because it's not liquid; it's still dry powder. But you suck it in, and then you hold it, and it really gives your lungs a kind of good boost.
There's so many ways I could go with you sucking and holding.
I mean, I'm great. I'm great at sucking. What can I say? You know, my gag reflex is completely. It's got stronger as a result.
On a unrelated note, I failed my driving test first time.
Hey, welcome to the failure club.
Yeah, boy.
We spoke about this with the driving.
But they didn't hear it. So, according to the listeners, we've not spoken before lovely Theo hit record. We got nothing.
No, yes. We didn't know about it. We spoke about it when we had Mitch Ben on, didn't we? Driving, in terms of driving in general.
Oh yeah, we did. We did.
So, and I know you were going through the process of learning, but
yes, and I still am going through the process of learning.
So am I. I've got my next test. Actually, probably the next time we will record another bunch of guests, I will have found out if I failed my first my second test, because I also failed my first test. But they do say second-time drivers are better. So
that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with.
I think they say that to make you feel better.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, do you know what? It did make me feel better. So if that's the case, then that's perfect.
Exactly. So,
but it's really hard. It is.
It's so difficult.
I think it's because it can be silly things.
It's the nerves that get to you.
And I didn't realise.
Start overthinking it. Yeah.
I didn't realise I was nervous at the time.
You don't, do you? Yeah.
No. But
and when you get in the car, it's like.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't even realise when I was driving that I was nervous.
Wow.
But my examiner obviously did.
Yeah.
He picked up on it, but. Yeah,
and the severely injured fox that he ran over also did, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, foxes were harmed in the failure of your test. So let's be actually clear about that. But
let's talk about today's guest then, Mark. Who do we have on?
We have Esther Cross.
Esther Cross.
I've got the name right. I've been practicing the name for whatever reason. No, I've said this before.
We like Esther Cross, don't we?
We saw Esther at the opening of the LAFs Podcast thing.
Event, yes.
Yeah, because she also has a wonderful podcast with the LAFs team. So I feel like it's a proper LAFs team episode.
Yes,
I think this will be.
It's
very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it too. So, for full disclosure, we've not had this interview. We've not done this interview yet. So we're hoping it goes well.
Yeah, and if it goes utter terrible, mainly probably because of us, then we will
100% because of us. It's always because of us.
Yeah, then we will re-record and go like, this was a terrible episode and it's all our fault. So
no, it won't. It will go in.
It'll be amazing. Because Esther is amazing and she will carry the episode. So
she will. Right.
We are only as good as our guests.
Yeah. And with Esther, we're going to be talking, because her podcast is all about dating, the Broken Eggs Club. So we are going to be talking about dating whilst having neurodivergencies.
Yes.
So please enjoy Esther Cross.
Hi, I'm Sam Rhodes, one of the co-founders of LAFs, the London Arts Facilitation Society. If you're enjoying watching or listening to any of this content, we'd really like you to donate a little bit of cash to help us build access to all of this wonderful stuff for working class people from all over England. You can go to lafs.org.uk to donate as little as £1 a month to help us keep the lights on and help us make lovely art, podcasts, comedy specials and even professional wrestling for you at home. lafs.org.uk. Donate today. Go on, do it for the laughs.
Right, so today's guest is a comedian, writer, actress who wants to entertain, but most importantly, she just wants you to join the Broken Eggs Club. It's Esther Cross. Hello, Esther Cross. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, I just held my foot up in the air, but for the listeners who aren't watching, I'm wearing socks and sandals, but the socks have eggs on.
That's the most British thing. That's a very uniquely British thing, isn't it? The socks and sandals thing.
What, to wear such a sexless foot item? Yes, I'd say so. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you what I ask every guest on this podcast, Esther. I just said pidcast for a second. Right. Okay, podcast. Right. That's what we're doing. What do you got?
What do I got?
What do you got?
Well, I've got a few spices.
Nice.
So it started off as just dyslexia.
Yeah.
But then we progressed onto a diagnosis of ADHD. But to be fair, there were so many signs. There were glaring signs before my diagnosis.
What were they?
Well, I was... Okay, we're about to get dark very quickly, but a teacher at school pinned me up against the wall because I was running around the classroom being so annoying.
Oh, God.
When I was about 7 or 8. And she was fired.
How long ago was this?
I was about 7 or 8.
How long ago was it, if you don't mind me?
Are you asking how old I am? So I'm 30.
That was a really subtle way of doing it, mate. Carl, well done.
Oh, was she?
I know, I look so good.
My God.
Yeah, so 31. So,
that's horrible.
Yeah.
My God.
Jesus. I'm going to blow my cover a little bit, but I work in a school, and Mark's also worked in schools.
Yeah.
Like,
I could never treat kids
I could,
like that.
no. Like,
I mean, to be honest, the worst I had was I did have a teaching assistant call me a stupid bloody thing, but it was
he was right though. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, in all fairness, there's some truth to it. But I was doing like design and technology, and I was just rubbish because autism, dyspraxia. I wasn't very good at all of that. But he was just like, he wasn't really a teaching assistant. He was a technician.
Was he even employed by the school?
He wasn't. Yes, he was employed by the school as a technician. But back then, they didn't really kind of vet people very well because he was just insulting me the whole time. He was really not patient. He was meant to be my support worker, and he just wasn't. He was just a technician.
Was he your first heckler technically?
Yeah, technically my first heckler actually.
Good to start you young. On
yeah, exactly. Built a bit of like steel, but yeah. So that's the worst I had. But pinning you up against the wall, that is like so. I'm not saying it's an excuse, by the way, but what was the teacher's reasoning as to why they did that?
Well, like, she was trying to, I guess, get some focus in the class. Like, I work with kids now, and I know it's so annoying when children are going against the flow of the class. It's really annoying.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But I don't remember specifically what I was doing, but I was doing something where I was interrupting and jumping around the space when other children were sitting down. And I remember coming home and being like saying it to my parents as if it was just like a quirk of the day of like, oh, teacher pinned me up against the wall today. And my parents were like, what? I said, yeah, I was running around the classroom and the teacher pinned me up against the wall. My parents were like, that's not
okay.
Good.
No.
That's not good. So I had to go in and have meetings, and then she took an early retirement. Oh. I remember in assembly they bought her some garden furniture and said goodbye to her.
Here's a shovel. Go dig your own hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, your career is dead and buried. It's like it was all side.
I have been trained to positively handle a child and there's a way you do it, but that's only as a very last resort if the child is posing a risk to themselves or other people.
Yeah.
But you don't just suplex a child.
She just snapped. But also, when she pinned me up against the wall, she said, "Why are you so annoying?"
Jesus Christ.
And I
You- I
remember
mean, you don't-
processing the anger.
You don't say that. You
Why are you
think
so
it,
annoyed?
but
Yeah.
you don't say it.
I mean, you save all the outbursts for end of term drinks. If you ever go on an end of term drink
Yeah.
group of teachers, my God, the shit
Absolutely.
that comes out is just
They
like,
are
No, I would have been
terrifying
so
individuals.
happy for her to bitch about me in
that's-
whatever
you
capacity
need
she
to
wanted
vent,
to.
but not like that. That is
Yeah,
I-
you
I-
dig it deep for the work drinks.
When I was an older kid, I pinned a younger kid up against the wall. he was winding me up. So
Oh, you're not joking.
So no, but I was an older kid. I was like, I don't know, in year 10, and he was like year 8.
Oh,
but
okay, so
he-
you were a child.
Yeah, I was a
Okay,
child. I
yeah.
wasn't a teacher. No, I was a year 10, so I was about
Really?
15, and
Was
the
it a
kid
nice
was about
sandwich?
12, 13.
Yeah.
And the kid was really, really annoying me, but he was like trying to sort of pick on me or whatever, and I was like, what are you doing? And in the end I got fed up, and I pinned up against the wall. The teacher walked past and went, "Mark, put that down." So, because that kid had a particular, he was
Joie of you.
yes.
Particular flavour of annoyance.
Yeah, so even the teacher, obviously, the teachers never did any of that, but they could understand why other people did that to that kid. But it's still not an excuse. Like,
You
maybe
don't
that.
call him a that. You don't call him a that.
No.
Yeah,
But-
don't call him that, even though he
No.
was a very irritating kid.
But
Yes.
I feel like
was a kid as well, so it was like, but yeah.
I feel like we very quickly got into like the deep stuff, but like I remember bringing up this moment in my assessment, and then for the rest of the day I was in such a bad mood because I think I hadn't like thought about it in such a long time that I thought about it and I was like, and I think I also thought like it was clearly so obvious that I had a issue, but
Yeah.
Back then,
because that's the extreme end of
Yeah.
you know.
but back then, ADHD was kind of seen as this one thing,
Yeah.
and if you weren't throwing shit at teachers or whatever,
Yeah.
you were just not. You just didn't have it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also as a girl as well.
Yeah, that's true. With girls and
I was a girl.
Yeah.
I still am.
like girls and also people of colour don't get it recognised as much as it
Yeah,
don't get
you
it
tend
recognised
to
as
get
quickly.
Yeah.
overlooked.
And I think also it presents it. We've now kind of, because of research and stuff, we've learned that it is not just one thing. It is.
Yeah.
It can be a multitude of things. There we go.
So-
If that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, I know what you mean because like I remember like my understanding of an ADHD child when I was at school was like, you know, the boy that chews his sleeves.
Yeah.
And like sort of will like want to press a pen into his arm for stimulation, who like gets kicked out of school at age 14 but then comes back on a BMX at closing time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's my understanding of ADHD, and then I realised when I got older that
It's a spectrum, yeah.
yeah. Also, it just looks so different on different people.
I mean, they say a lot of it is like sort of the reason girls so often overlooked is because they find ways of masking that boys don't.
Yeah.
But same with autism as well, and it's such a ridiculous, awful because now research knows that autism ADHD presents itself differently in girls and boys. But back then there was this very sexist attitude of going, well, no, if girls are just quiet and sometimes
Yeah.
and it was just this whole kind of awful that they go overlooked. So like, how did you sort of like deal with that when you were first diagnosed? What was that like?
Well, I knew I needed to get diagnosed like 10 years ago, but the idea of filling in those forms put me off. So
Surprising.
yeah.
Shocked.
But they should
Shocked.
just, if you struggle to fill in those forms, you should get a diagnosis on the spot. Like,
Exactly. I think it's like the biggest ironies is like the spelling of dyslexia.
yeah.
And then also to get diagnosed with ADHD, you have to go through loads of red tape and all this shit. So like, I knew for the longest time. Well, also there was concerns about me having ADHD when I was at school, but my parents didn't want to get me diagnosed because my siblings had it and they were put on Ritalin, and they were just like little vampires awake all the night, just like in the morning, and they were like, no, I don't want Esther to take Ritalin, so I didn't get diagnosed then. So actually, I took such a long time, like getting round to it, especially after COVID and everything. And then when I did get a diagnosis, it was just confirming something that I knew for a really long time. And it was a combination of relief, but also was quite emotional because there's so many ways that I struggled not having that official acknowledgement, and I was like, why did I wait so long?
Yeah.
The
Well,
forms.
it shouldn't have been on you to wait so long. Why did no one pick it up when you were a child? It's not on you to do that. That's on professionals to do that.
Yeah.
So take
Yeah.
that completely off of you. That's what the professionals should have been doing. So
Yeah.
dating, right?
That segue was like,
So you were diagnosed around the time you were a teenager? You would have been dating around that time, or
no, I was diagnosed a couple of years ago, like officially diagnosed a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In a sort of glaringly obvious way. It was
Oh,
like-
yes.
But I've dated with dealing with it, and there's lots to unpack there.
Yeah.
Let's start unpacking that suitcase.
We've got the box. Let's unpack it.
Let's unpack it at a later date. We're gonna go to a little break now, so we'll be back in a minute. Bye.
Hi, I'm Kenneth Cunliffe, and you may notice I'm a rather beautiful puppet. I was made by the good people at Dark Matter Puppets in Essex. And if you need a puppet made, or you want to buy a puppet that's already been made, find Dark Matter Puppets on Instagram or Facebook and send them a message. Tell them Kenneth sent you. That's right. Buy yourself a puppet. What are you waiting for?
And we're back.
Yes. So it's taken us half the episode to do this, but let's do unpack this. What is just in general? What is dating like for you? How do you find it in general?
I mean, like, I guess it depends if you're talking about like how I get on in a relationship, or do you mean like the actual going on dates?
The actual going on date. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the first date thing, first or second dates. How do you
Well, like, I get bored if we like get stuck in the small talk zone of the dating, and then I'm like, well, we should get drunk in order for me to like have a nice time.
Yeah.
But then once you get drunk, you're like, I would have fun getting drunk with a trout. So like, it doesn't matter.
You can't really judge how the date's going because
Exactly.
if you get drunk, yeah. So.
Yeah, and then the next day when you have a hangover, you're like, that there was no need for that to continue, and I didn't need to spend that much money drinking to establish that we had no connection. But like the need for stimulation then takes over the part of the brain that wants to assess if this person is going to be good for you, or if you're going to like jangle with this person.
Yeah.
So do you tend to like match with people that are also neurodivergent, or has it been a bit of a mixed bag for you in terms of that?
Well, I lived in the warehouses for like 4 years. So actually, everyone's neurodivergent in the warehouses.
What's the warehouse? What's the warehouses?
Oh, so in North London and like other parts of London, there are like warehouses that have been converted into like communal spaces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of blue hair.
A lot of blue hair. Okay.
A lot of homemade granola.
Lovely.
A lot of illicit substances.
Okay.
A lot of
What?
acrylic paintings.
Is there one in Camden by any chance, or is it? Are there
Maybe. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah. And they're like condemned buildings, aren't they? Like, or are they?
No. It's like official. Like those
official.
Those buildings are official. You sign a contract.
Oh,
everything.
okay.
It's just that like you probably live in a wallpaper factory.
Okay. Cool.
Or a peanut factory, or a cardigan factory, or
Okay.
something. Do you know what I mean? Like the factory still works, but you just live in a factory.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah,
And those spaces attract like neurodivergency. So
Yes.
then when you're dating in those spaces, you're gonna be dating a neurodivergent person.
It's just so happened because you're in those spaces that it just naturally kind of happens. I guess.
Yeah, and like, what's interesting for me was like just before I moved into a warehouse, I actually was in a relationship with someone who was very neurotypical, and we lived in a house with 2.5 cats, classic
Right,
lesbian like dream. And then I couldn't withstand how calm and nice and functional the relationship was.
Okay.
Right.
So then I needed to ruin it by moving into a warehouse and just like trying out polyamory and just kind of ruining my mental health.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that go? And how did that go for you?
really badly.
Oh,
Plot twist. It went really badly.
no. So was there like an initial dopamine hit initially, or was there?
Yeah, 'cause I think that like anytime I talk on a podcast, it makes myself so unemployable. But like I think I'm always drawn to the wrong choice because I'm looking for stimulation.
Yeah.
And the idea of finding peace and being calm is scary for me because being bored is pain for me. It's really painful.
Yeah, I get that.
And so then I'll choose the wrong thing to like make my brain comfortable in a way that's comfortable with ADHD because with ADHD you're looking for stimulation
That's true.
and I've constantly made the wrong choice because in that moment I'm seeking something. But like I moved into the warehouses and like I was in a relationship with a woman and I moved into the warehouses and then I lost my virginity age 27, like my straight virginity age 27.
Right, yeah.
So then I suddenly like had all this world to discover and I was in this space where like 1,000 people, not by name but by face, and
That's well, do you know what, that sounds like it has some positives, but ultimately it sounds
Depends what you're
like,
looking for, I guess.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It? Like, so it depends what you want out of dating and everything. Like, are you quite open with people about your neurodiversity when you're, say, dating them, or?
I mean, I don't.
Always.
I don't know. Like, if you're probably the same way. Like, you don't need to tell people you have ADHD.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like. You're ADHD, aren't you? Yes, I fucking am.
I don't need to tell you that I'm wearing a pirate hat.
No, we can see the pirate hat.
To be honest, like this didn't need to be a podcast about neurodiversity. Actually, we could have just done this, and people would have figured it out.
They would have figured it out,
pretty early on. But like, no, but so it's like, or when people then do get to, is it quite apparent early on within, like, say, the first 30 seconds, they go, right, she's neurodivergent. And,
it's like immediately incredibly clear because like my ADHD is quite cartoon in its presentation.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
hence why your kids entertainer. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm quite hyperactive.
Yeah, of course.
So it's quite obvious from the offset.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily need to always like say it because they can tell. But I feel like once we get into a relationship territory, my previous relationships, they've sort of ended up being a bit of a carer for me.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Is that intentional, or is that just how it's kind of happened?
It's just kind of how it's happened, and like I think like I play the role of the clown who's making the space fun, and they play the role of them trying to like take care of me, and it's sort of like that's the currency. I'm there to make life fun for you, and you're there to make life easier for me. And I don't necessarily think like I agreed to that currency, but that's always how it ends up being.
Yeah, and like, do you then worry you're becoming a burden on them, or do you?
Yeah.
And is that, or do you think they maybe they're judging? Do you ever feel like judged for being you? Like,
I mean, I broke up with my the girlfriend that I had first. What am I trying to say? My first relationship, I broke up with them. They had like an enormous commitment to coping with me and making sure I had everything I needed. But the next relationship I had was with a man, and he gave up on me.
Right.
Oh.
And then I got in a relationship with a woman, and I broke up with her, and then got in a relationship with a man, and then he broke up with me. So it's always like this. It feels like, sorry, men, you've got no backbone.
That's really. I mean, I've only really, so with my dating, I always date other people neurodivergent or disabled, and we try and sort of care for each other. But there'll be definitely moments in which she'll be looking after me because
I picked up a nail and I don't know what to do with it now.
Oh Lord.
I just flick my because I
it.
bite nails. Just flick it. I
Just
guess.
flick it. Just fair off, flick it somewhere.
No one's gonna.
I don't want it.
Keep it.
What? No, I'm alright. I don't want the nail. I don't want.
It's
Put it
in
on
my
the-
heart.
There we go.
No one will know.
No, but it's just that there'll be moments in which definitely if I'm overwhelmed or I would have forgotten to do something or whatever, my partner, she'll kind of realise, okay, he's been hyper-focusing on something else because of the autism, but there'll be times, like, because of her disability, she's, like, exhausted, so then I'll have to sort of step up.
What's her disability?
Cerebral palsy.
Oh, okay.
So,
She's still not come on here.
no, we need
What
to
the
get her on.
fuck?
I
Yeah,
know, it's
right.
ridiculous. We need to get her on. But it's just like, we will manage, like, different household chores and stuff and work together and on it. But for a while, we were just trying to figure out what each other needs. And that process can be really difficult, actually, because it's like, right, how will we support each other? Will there be times where we can't support each other? Because if we're both burnt out at the same time, and that's the problem we say with Neuro-Divergent and dating, or you dating and you both got disabilities, it's like if you're both burnt out, you're both kind of screwed and you both need your own space, and that can be so hard to navigate sort of thing. So like, I mean, have you found that where you've had to step up where, like, maybe say your partner's struggling? Or
Yeah, I mean, my previous partner had depression.
Yeah, that can be quite tough.
Like really severe depression.
Yeah.
And I had ADHD. And I remember him saying that I was the kite that lifts us both up. But then ultimately he broke up with me. So clearly my ADHD was harder for him to cope with than his depression was. Because when he didn't want to talk, when he was so deeply in it, like we'd go to a cafe or whatever, and he'd just be sat there saying nothing, a face like thunder. And I remember I was so in love with him that I would just draw pictures of him because I felt like if I'm drawing pictures of him, there's some kind of back and forth happening, even if he's not speaking. And I remember...
Just some form of connection.
Yeah, there's some form of connection because a conversation, there's like information being received and going back. And I felt like there's, I'd sit there in silence as our coffees like went cold and be drawing away. And
I'm just imagining you like doing these drawings on post-it notes and just sticking them on him.
Yeah. I mean, but the crazy thing is, like, I was so like in love with him. I thought we were having a great time. And then I remember like ages later looking back on these drawings and being like, I've drawn just so many pictures of sad men. Like I realised how sad he was. But in the moment, I just actually enjoying it.
Well, that could be down to him, to be honest, in what he was going through. And sometimes I think we tend to, as neurodivergent people, put that on ourselves. Oh, it must have been me. Yeah. It could have, like, because I dated someone with bipolar, and when she was going through more manic phases, it was brilliant. It was amazing. But when obviously she went through her depressive phases, we both tried to manage that together. And like, she broke up with me because she said, "Oh, I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore," and I'm like, "That's fair enough. Like, you can't
get a new pair of eyes."
Yeah, exactly. I can't get your eyes out. Come on,
go
but
to
I was
Moorfields Eye Hospital.
Yeah, exactly. But I was in love with her, and it was just like, and she was in love with me, but it was more of it wasn't a sexual thing. And then she wanted to get back together with me because she was like, actually, I was just going through depression and I had a really low sex drive, and I was like, I want to get back together with you. And I did get back together with her, but we should never have done it because it obviously wasn't right. What had happened is it wasn't actually... I think it was a mixture of everything. I think it came to a 2-year period where I think we both kind of were... It wasn't going anywhere else, but... Then so she broke up with him, but then she wanted to get back together with me because I think she missed the emotional connection. So,
but I can understand why you took her back, because like after my breakup with my last partner, the one that really sort of destroyed me, I was sent an article by a friend called Leela about how ADHD people struggle with breakups a lot more than neurotypical people, because the rejection just like reverberates in the brain in such a stronger way. So for you, the fact that this person came back to you, you must have held on to that.
Yeah, because obviously I've
Wait,
had
you don't have
rejection.
ADHD, do you?
Well, I'm autistic.
You
but-
probably have ADHD.
Do you know what?
You
Everyone
have a
thinks
flavour
I don't-
about you.
I could. Do you know what? I'm glad he picked up on that because everyone thinks that I do, and you've definitely pointed out to me, Carl. But
Yeah,
I
you
point
think
out
I'm
to you.
You think I'm autistic.
I think you're autistic. You think I'm a bit ADHD. Again, we
the
spoke about this earlier.
Freaky Friday
It's
every time.
Freaky Friday, but
Whenever
for
we come together, we
neurodiversity.
Freaky Friday. And you're basically the fortune cookie that gets broken.
I can be your fortune cookie.
Nice.
You're both going to meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger when we leave the podcast studio.
Nice.
With a pirate hat. Carl, what's been dating like for you?
So it's an interesting one for me because I've not been on a date for over a year now, and I think what I tend to do is I tend to put everything else in my life on top of me, like finding a relationship, and I think that's possibly down to.
Wait, say that again. I started thinking about like whether the lasagna at home is going to go out of date, and then I missed what you were saying.
That's all right. It's fine. When you were talking, I was thinking about the macaroni and cheese I've got in the fridge.
When ADHD minds come together.
Yeah.
Two ADHDs in the wild.
What the fuck was I saying?
I don't know. You have to help me.
All right. So I've not. I think what I said
What
was
was you
Dating.
saying?
Dating.
Yeah, so
What's
I've not-
dating like for you?
I've not been on a date in over a year now because I tend to put things in front of me finding someone. Right?
Date is not priority for you.
Yes, it's not it should be a priority, but it's not a massive one, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things where whenever I remember on my last, what I do when I date, I don't drink. You see, so that's
very clever.
That is no at all. Like I don't drink at all. I mean, I drink liquids, but that's just, I like.
And you should.
Good, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. But I think that kind of removes any bullshit and any pretense. So I think that because I don't have that kind of lubrication or that kind of what should we call it?
You said
forced-
lubrication and then you scared yourself a bit,
Yeah,
didn't you?
that kind of.
Other lubrication
was-
is available.
After you said
Oh,
lubrication.
Lord.
You're like, oh no, they're coming for me.
Yeah,
And
that
therefore-
We're
was-
so good about that.
Yeah, we
Just
were. Do you know
let
what?
it
I held it
go.
back. I held it back. And my God,
It's so
must
rare.
have been.
It's so rare that between me and him, that I'm the one that gets pulled up on things. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah, I
me having
know.
a taste of my own medicine.
Your own lubricated medicine. You know,
So I don't
must have been painful.
so because I don't drink, I don't have that kind of enforced spark or
But it
comfortability
must
that
be
drink.
harder to crack on with someone when you're sober.
Yeah, it can be, yeah. But at the same time, but what it does do, and this is in a way good and in some ways good and some ways bad, it means that if I don't feel a spark like immediately, that's it. I'm like, right, there's
So
nothing
you're
really here.
quite. Yeah, you
I
can
mean,
be
I'll
decisive.
I'll go through with the date, obviously, but it can take not very long for me to think, right, this person potentially is more of a friend than a potential partner.
But I think if a person makes you laugh, then you can figure out the sex stuff later.
Well, I'm talking about
Connection.
I'm not talking about the sex. I'm talking about the emotional
I know, but I'm
connection.
saying if a person doesn't make you laugh,
Yeah.
then there's no point really bothering with them
Yes.
because like
And actually
you're
connect-
gonna have to make life fun when you're like reheating baked beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Wi-Fi's broken.
So
you know
it's-
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
That's
guess-
the moment you need to get through.
I guess with that lack of connection is, yeah, if you don't feel that connection straight away, whereas quite often, like, I can tell pretty quickly if I've connected with someone. But then what I find really hard, the autism, is whether they feel like they've connected with me. I'm like, oh, I feel a connection, but do they feel a connection? Or sometimes maybe I've felt a false connection. Maybe they're just being nice. And then I start to overthink things. And that's often with dating, that's when things have gone wrong for me. So that's, yeah, I don't know. I overthink things. So I think that's the problem with me with dating. I'm not sure With ADHD, you're quite impulsive. Oh yeah, I can make a decision. Whereas me, I'm terrible at it. Or is it not? Or
It sounds the way you're talking makes it seem like you're wondering if you've passed the test or not. Whereas for me, I think, generally speaking, because I'm an entertainer, I know that person, not to toot my own horn, but like because I'm an entertainer, I know that person is being entertained, and that's not the problem. So it's not like but I think, and I've heard a lot of other people verbalize this, that when you're on a date with someone, you're almost on a date with yourself because you're actually just looking at this mirror, trying to see how you're coming across.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly.
I've never heard it put that way before, but that's so right.
That, and especially I think for neurodivergent people, we tend to do that more, sort of thing. I don't know. I feel like that, and then after the date, you're going over it in your head, going, "Oh, hang on, what about when I did that? She looked down for that moment there. Does that mean like she wasn't finding me boring, or?" So sorry, do you know what? Do you know what's really good?
One day you'll just like peripherally clock the producer's hand and then just like interweave it.
Do you know what?
It's not this day, and that's fine.
But do you know what? We're trying to get. And do you know, Kyle was much better at this than me. I'm very good. He is very good at bringing it to a natural close. Right, Esther, if you could look into the camera there. Straight on, and if you'd like to promote anything you've got going on.
So I guess the episode today was relationship based because I do a podcast with LAFs called The Broken Eggs Club, which is about breakups. So that is worth watching. It's 3 hosts with a lot of silly goosery, but also we're trying to keep you company if you're going through a breakup, or if you're not going through a breakup and you want to laugh at people that are going through a breakup and you want to laugh at my weird journal entries. That's a great place to be, to have a entertaining time. And then also I want to plug my exes who did an amazing job of parenting me in my relationships with my ADHD. They probably need a bit of a thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yeah, exes.
Larry and Risho, go, go, go. I did name them and I'm going to stick with it. Well done them.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, brilliant. Definitely check out Esther's podcast and everything she's got going on. If you like this episode, go to lafs.org.uk. We can see the full thing. Follow at Unmedokayted on the Instas and TikTok. If you want to follow me, not in the street, at marknicholascomic on TikTok and Insta, and I run a disability and mental health comedy night called Laugh Able. Our next night is on the 16th of June, and the night after that is 16th of July, so definitely come along, and that's in East London in Wanstead, so definitely come along to that. Go.
I'm gonna have to promote too. So if you want to see a bit more of me, I've just gone Kyle Woolfsays on Instagram and on TikTok. I also occasionally do some short videos on the Unmedokayted podcast TikTok. Those are going to be starting to come back soon. Also, Mark and I have a live show on July the 1st where we'll be interviewing Abigail Shulman and Joe Wells to promote their book, Neuro-Divergent Moments. So if you want to get tickets for that, we'll be promoting that soon. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.